Alright guys, Brian Pierce from Seat Time here, and I'm back. And this time I'm doing the second ride on the Sherco 450 SEF-R Factory Edition. This past week was a week to kind of think about how the bike rode when I rode it for the first ride, what kind of adjustments and changes I wanted to make, and also add on some aftermarket products to kind of help the bike be better for somebody who's in the shape that I'm in. I haven't been riding very much. Obviously have a really sore ankle still from surgery. I've got the poor shoulder, all kinds of excuses that I need to make sure I have awesome pieces of equipment to help me out with. Some of those would be, of course, things from XC Gear. So I've got the new Mako 360 handlebar clamp on there, so 360 degrees of elastomer goodness to help with vibration dampening and arm pump and all the kinds of things that metal to metal can cause when you have a handlebar mounted to triple clamps. Now granted, yeah, we've been riding like that for years, but in the long run, we're not professionals. We're doing this for fun, and if we suffer from arm pump, we're not in the shape we need to be, we don't have the blisters we would like because we haven't been riding in a long time, XC Gear's Mako 360, things like flex bars and other products like that on the markets are great products to use. Don't make fun of your friends. Go get a pair and support these companies for doing what they're doing, because these kind of things help you ride so much longer and harder and have so much more fun, so you can actually hold your beer at the end of the day. So the Mako 360, they did make some adjustments. So if you go watch their install video on YouTube, also go watch their update video on Facebook, because he's made some adjustments to it which make it a lot easier to install. You don't have to slide on the elastomers anymore. I didn't have any trouble, and it was really simple to do, so I know you guys could be able, if I can handle it, I know you guys can handle it as well. I've got the Spurs foot pegs on the Sherco. Big idea here is because of the vibration dampening, and they have just a little bit of movement in them. I can only imagine that 100+ mile days in Colorado, you know, yeah, sure, at that point it'll be 7 months since I had surgery, but it's only gonna be like 6 weeks since I've been on the bike, so I'd like to have as much, you know, as much dampening as possible with those guys. I think it's gonna be great. So far today, everything worked awesome. One of the things that I thought was interesting with these guys is there's like little jumps here at Chester Hill on this little test track that Brian Story has set up, and when you kind of hit one of the little lips and you're kind of like leaning forward and grabbing the bars, like you can kind of feel the elastomers give a little. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that it's interesting. You know, it proves how well they work. And it's interesting how the shark bite works and the elastomers to keep things moving. The dampening works great. I did put some, if you heard me talking about my blisters, I did put some grip donuts on. That was definitely the way to go. I'm going to need those bad boys for a while, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Now, I told you guys early on we're going to be putting some protection on, and I did that. So we've got, from Bulletproof Designs, we've got the Radiator Protectors. These are stupid simple to install on any bike. The holes that you would put your T-handle through to go to the mounting bolts don't exactly line up, so you just need to have a swivel socket to get that in there. So it's a little bit of finagling to make it happen, but in the end of the world, an extra 5 minutes at the long run. But I hate to say it, but there's a good chance that this bike could wind up on its side in Colorado, and things like that are going to save these radiators for whoever buys this thing after I'm done with it as a demo bike. It's going to be awesome, because I don't ride hard. People are going to love the shit out of this thing. Also, we did the shark fin, so if you're going to ride any kind of rocks, it's just smart to have that guy, because it's a protector for your rear disc. You don't want that thing going out on the middle of a ride and then trying to straighten it with any kind of pliers or rocks or trees or however you need a barbarian, that kind of thing going. And then after that, of course, we didn't replace the chain guide because we had to break the chain and all that kinds of fun stuff. What we did instead of that is we got the Bulletproof Designs chain guide protector. Now this thing bolts into the swing arm, and so it gives a little bit more beef to the chain guide and where it mounts. There's a little bit less chance of it pivoting once, you know, when we're gonna be in Colorado, when you catch it on rocks. Those are some of the adjustments that I made. Oh, one of the things that really opened this bad boy up is I took the butt plug out of the Akrapovic, so the spark arrestor. Holy crap, that in itself, I mean, easily 2 or 3 horsepower. And I really like the way it kind of, the throttle would crack open and deliver power. So as long as I can keep that thing out, I'm going to. I think it's some of the National Enduros they're going to check, so we'll see. But I'm not going to be doing a National Enduro on this bike, so it'll be okay at the moment. Very much looking forward to putting my Kenda tires on. but I only have one set right now, the triple sticky for the front and then the Ibex for the rear. So I'm just saving those for Colorado. So I'm gonna ride these guys up until we're ready to haul the bikes up there. We're gonna put those bad boys on. Right now, I'm not too much a fan of the front tire. I feel like the front tire wants to kind of wash out in some of the hard pack turns out here. Now granted, we did have some rain the other day, but I didn't get a chance to come out here. Like Thursday nights is kind of the night that I can make this happen, so that's when I've got to get out here and do it. Most important that I forgot to tell you guys about is we replaced the springs. So we went from a 54 to a 51 in the rear to make that a little bit softer, and then we went to 42s in the front forks. Mucho bueno. Way better. I'm about 183. I was 183 naked this morning. So if you want to take that for a weight, probably, you know, 186, 187 with my gear on. It's not a ton of weight, you know. So if you look in the manual, it says about 200 pounds is standard. So it's probably just, I'm like right on the cusp of where those springs were made for of the lower end. So I went to the softer springs and definitely felt a lot better. Been playing around with the settings. If you guys want to know what those are, obviously I can tell you because I know. Yeah, but after that, didn't get a chance to play with the battery switch today, but that's okay. And I found this really cool foldable bike stand on BTO Sports. Now it's made by Polysport. I'm sure you can get it from any of the online retailers or your local dealer. But I'm really stoked on it because it can fold up. So I'm gonna just fold it up and keep it in the Sprinter, so when I come out here I have a stand just in case I need to do a little bit of work or anything. So if you check these stands out, they're actually pretty sweet. Yeah, and it's got a little plastic lever on the other side to raise it and lower it, and then it folds up and it just stays pretty flat. I think it's pretty sweet. So what do you guys think? How am I doing? Do I look like I'm having a good time on the motorcycle? Do I look like I'm enjoying myself? Does it look like you think you want to ask more questions about a Sherco? I would love to hear any comments, questions, or concerns that you have about anything that I've told you, anything that I've done, or things from the other videos. If you haven't had a chance to watch the unboxing video, definitely go check that out. That's just fun. It's interesting. It was the first time I ever uncrated a motorcycle, so it was cool to see how it came packaged. Definitely go check out the first time I rode the Sherco, because there was a lot of different thoughts going on there, because we were really playing with the suspension, and that's where we were kind of going, holy crap, we think the springs are too stiff and we need to get softer springs. Now I've got them in, we're having a great time, but why are we doing all this? We're going to Colorado for Seat Time Adventures in July. So go check out the Seat Time Adventures playlist that we have on our channel here at Seat Time and watch all the crazy that we have, and then pay attention between July 25th through July 30th to all of our social channels, because we'll be posting all kinds of stuff through the hashtag Seat Time Adventures and to Seat Time social media bits. I am Brian Pierce, your purveyor of awesome. You can find me on the internet at Woody B. Pierce. Of course, we're at Seat Time everywhere else on the internet. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We do have a Patreon so that you guys can become a patron of ours. If you guys want me to do more videos after August and I give this back, that's a great way to let us know that you'd like us to do that by becoming a patron. So check that out, patreon.com/seattime. Easy to remember. Just find us. I always enjoy a pint full of awesome, and we'll see you on the internet.